Yes, this is Lofi Poli Sci. And yes, that was Season 1 intro music. And you? Well, don't try to write anything down just yet. Let's go. Sudan, Russia-Ukraine war. Indian former politician being assassinated. EU rejects Ukrainian grain ban by Poland and Hungary. Japanese Prime Minister attack. Japan and the G7. Pentagon leaks. Israel-Iran nuclear deal. Pope Francis squared. Germany begins powering down the last 3 nuclear power plants. Dubai apartment fires. Christians in Jerusalem celebrate Holy Fire. China and Brazil. Gunmen storm Mexican resort, killing multiple people. Birthday mass shooting in the United States, Alabama. Australia climate activists shove coal off train. Soccer captain accident. And missing Navy sailors from the United States. And La Santa Cecilian celebrates album. Young drive bullfighting in Spain. Syria war. Indonesian troops attack. Anti-government protest in Prague. U.S. House Republicans do stuff. Spanish PM apologizes over sexual consent law reform with loophole. Cindy McCain fights hunger. Tennessee House puts legislator back in. U.S. death row. Fox News faces court in Dominion case. Climate change. Underground cave, she survives 500 days. China expands wartime drafts. Biden video. Ramadan. Europe migrant issues. China and Taiwan. Volcano in Colombia. Japan wild things. Turkey and bank lending. Pop star in Israel. And media in Poland. And there you have it. Or do you? Question mark. 100 global news stories. That was only 41 stories, though. Seems like, if I have to recall from last month, we are not nearly as diverse in our news coverage this month. No, indeed not. Last month we had 57 different stories out of 100, making it the most diverse time we ever did it. This month, only 41. And that's a big drop in news coverage diversity, people. You know, the first 10 stories from the world sections of the BBC, NPR, AP, Reuters, Fox, CNN, Google, Yahoo, New York Times, Washington Post. 10 stories from 10 different media platforms on Sunday, April 16th. And we only got 41 different news stories. Meaning 59 articles surveyed were duplicates, triplicates, or even more. Like, for instance, our top 4 reoccurring stories. A story about Sudan and a potential civil war or military coup that's just taken place this weekend. 18 stories about that. There were 14 stories about Russia-Ukraine war in many different facets. There were 11 stories about an Indian former politician being assassinated, and that's Indian as far as the country of India. And there were 7 stories about the European Union rejecting the Ukraine grain ban by Poland and Hungary. Those 4 stories alone account for 50 articles this month. Half of our 100 global news stories were only about 4 stories. That's an incredible level of lack of diversity in the news cycle. And really, although Russia and Ukraine is number 2 and Sudan is number 1, really you could make an argument that the EU, Poland, Hungary, Ukraine grain deal should be folded into the wider Russian-Ukraine category, which would then give the Russia-Ukraine category 21 stories just by itself, making it number 1. And it would also mean that 3 stories account for 50% of all 100 articles surveyed. My friends, this is troubling news about the news. But why is it troubling? Why? Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be.